Okay, what I'm going to attempt to show you how to do today is use a simple design on easel with the CNC machine that I have is a BOBSCNC E4. For our design, we're going to just say I have MDF. My material is 12 by 12 and 3/4 of an inch thick. So 0.75. Now if you have a design saved in your computer, you can go to Image Trace. Say it's a design you found on Pinterest, Google Images, things like that. That's where I get a lot of my images from. You can hit Upload File. After you hit this arrow right here, you go to Upload File, select Files to Upload. You'll go to wherever your pictures are saved, and you'll find the design that you want. Today we're doing one for a coworker of my wife's. Let me find the letter. I'll find it eventually. Here we go. We'll open the file and hit upload. Granted, SVG files work a lot better than JPEG files. I don't know how to convert yet, but I am in the process of learning. Now you'll see here you have an option for smoothing, threshold, invert, and trace outlines. I like to try to smooth it out as much as possible. And then we hit our threshold, and we slowly increase until we get the design and idea that we like. The colors, blend, and everything like that. Just till the image is filled out to where you like it. Because with these JPEG images, they kind of lose detail. See how it's starting to get grainy now? We'll go back down a little bit. And that should be good right there. Alright, now this is what happens if we hit invert. It reverses the image. Now that would work great if you were going to cut out the black and leave the white. Say you wanted to make a rubber stamp or something similar to that. Click invert off. And we can do trace outline, and when it loads, it will only do the outside edges, and we don't want to do that. So we'll trace back to normal, then we'll hit import, and we already know, as I said, our material is 12 inches by 12 inches. So to increase the size, what I do is I grab this corner, zoom out a little bit, increase it just a little bit, and you'll want to watch over here to make sure that you don't go off your edges. You hit generate detailed preview, and right now it's not a very good preview because the machine is set up that we're using a 1/8 inch bit. For this I will be using a V-bit. Now I don't have Easel Pro, and a lot of people don't. A lot of people do. But if you signed up before, I don't remember, July, I believe, you get 4 free days of Pro a month. So I'll hit that bit, generate detailed preview, sometimes it takes a minute. Then you can zoom this in. You can right click it, to move the location. Left click changes the orientation of where it's at. Now you can zoom in and you can see the details a lot better with a 60-degree bit, say, than rather you wanted to use, let's say, a 1/16, or for the finer detail, a 1/32. Let it generate a detailed preview with a 1/32 bit. See, it's not bad. And before I actually learned to use a lot of the V-bit and free days, that's how a lot of my work looked. And people liked it, I liked it. But in the long run, it will be worth investing into the Pro to where you can use the V-bit. Just the detail is a lot better. And again, I apologize for the wait. It will generate its thing eventually. Let's see, there we go. And let's see if I can zoom this in here to where you can get a kind of a better look at it. And I'm currently filming with a cell phone, so my video quality is not going to be the best. I'm learning here. Let's see. So what we want to do with the image here is you can adjust your depth of your cut all the way through to where it actually would cut all the way through the item. But I don't do cuts like that yet. I normally run with a V-bit about 1/4 of an inch thick. So I do 0.25. And then I also take the material here, and you can highlight it. You hit edit. Down here you hit center to material. And you can adjust the size a little bit smaller and edit center to material. That way you give yourself a little bit of leeway on the edges to cut. Now after this, what I like to do, and there may be another way to do it, I take and I click shape. The center is currently at 6 and 6. What I like to do is hit 0 and 0, hit enter, and that will give me my center point on my XY axis when I set up the machine with the UGS, the G-code center. Then you go up here and you name your project, and then when you're ready to save your G-code, you hit machine. You go to advanced, and now that I'm using a V-bit, I will get this message will pop up. That's the yearly subscription cost, and that's the monthly. Now you can hit options. Go down here, it says use a free day. If you signed an account prior to July 21st, 2020, you get 4 free Carve eggs a month. So if you're new to this, unfortunately you don't get that anymore. But honestly, it would be worth investing in, and eventually I'm going to do that myself. And I don't need to use a free day. I've already got this project saved in another file. So what I'm going to do, close all this out. Pretend we saved that. And then we're going to open the Universal G-code sender. And this is something I've picked up and learned over the last few months, especially with this pandemic going on. Work's been hard to find, so this allows me to work at home, help with a little income, gives me something to do, and I can be at home with my children. Okay, so we've got our machine set up already. What we'll do is we'll connect to the machine. If it'll connect. Sometimes mine's stubborn. Slow computer. I'll be back with you just as soon as this does work. Okay, I'm back. Now, when your machine connects, you'll get this icon right here in the corner, which I'm not sure if you can see it. I apologize. Let me adjust. You'll want to click here to connect to your machine. And then what you do is you'll get this alarm that tells you to home your machine. So what we'll do is we'll hit the home, and the machine will adjust to its XY 0 location. Okay, and now for our materials, I've already got my materials set. My material is a 12 by 12, so what I do is I mark a grid line 6 inches each way and dead center. Now what I'll do is I'll take the machine and I'll use jog controller to where the bit is dead centered right there, and then I will hit reset 0, which is right there. So give me just one moment and we'll try to set this machine up. See if I can let y'all watch. And I've already got a V-bit set into the machine, so all I have to do is hit the XY axis. Which again, to do that, you'll use these right here. That's your X, positive, negative, Y is forward, negative is backward, of course. And then to lower your spindle, for your Z axis is going to be Z positive to raise and Z negative to lower. So here, we'll go back to right here. Let's see if we can get you a shot of that. And we'll go with the negative Z. I need to bump it back a little bit. We'll jog it forward just a little bit to see how close we are. We'll take it Z down. See, that's how close we are right now. Now we just got to fine tune it. And to do that, we'll Z down. And it looks like I need to back it up. And you always want to move this in small increments. And I move it in 0.005 of an inch on every increment that I move it. Now when you get it close to where you want it set, this is something I learned watching YouTube, things like that, reading the instructions that came with it. What you'll do is you'll find it right where you want. You'll lower your Z axis until it barely touches the paper, which I bumped it too much. You want it to just barely catch, just like that. And then when you have that, sorry for the movement. Okay, apparently my video doesn't record as long as I thought it was. So here's part 2. After you have your machine zeroed, you can hit reset 0. Then you can hit home. The machine will home itself back to its original 0, 0 axis. Then you can hit return to 0 and it will come back to its original 0. And I'll show you that now. Here we are, we're going to hit home. And this is something else, anything like that. And then we will hit return to 0. Now this is how I do it with a BOBSCNC E4. The machine is a wonderful machine. It's something I've learned how to use over the last few months being a stay-at-home dad. Customer service with the company BOBSCNC is amazing. I needed help on like a Sunday night at like 11 p.m. They emailed me back and helped me work on a project until I got it correct. Not sponsored by them, don't get nothing from them, but it's definitely, I'd check them out if you're interested in getting started doing this. Okay, so here we're back set at our 0. What we'll do now is you will go and you'll hit your file right there, and you will upload one of your projects, which the project that I showed you on Easel is Project T. So we'll scooch over, we'll find T, we'll hit open, which I already had open. Apologize for the shakiness. Now I have you a glare. Okay, with this you can see when you turn it sideways, that yellow cone is your 0 axis. That's your spindle, your Z. And as it moves, it'll slowly chew away at the blue. Now that we have the machine set where we need it, we'll go ahead and hit start. First, I'm going to get you set up to where you can watch a little bit, and we'll see how it goes from there. Alright, now let's see how this goes. Now it is going to be loud, so if you got headphones in, I'm warning you now. Okay, now that it's done, it took 1 hour, 1 minute, 4 seconds for this particular cut. Now this is something I failed to show you earlier, and I'll fix that. Alright, after you get your design laid out like you want, and you get it moved, you can actually hit right here, generate detailed preview, and it'll do the depth like it has been. Harbor Freight, a wonderful place to buy cheap tools. And again, it'll take its time. Okay, we're back. Generated the detailed preview. Now, if you want to look at it and see how your workpiece is going to look, you hit Simulate. It will show you the tool paths, give you an estimated time, everything like that that you need. Again, I'm sorry I failed to show you that earlier. And you do all this before you get your G-code. That way you make sure everything's where you want it, everything's going to cut the way you need it, and everything like that. Okay, we're back. It finally did the detailed preview, which I'll zoom it out, and you can look at it. I'll move it up. It'll show all the carving paths, and it tells me the estimated time, 1 minute, or I'm sorry, 1 hour and 1 minute. So it'll give you an idea of about how long you need to expect to be with your machine, things like that. Try to never let your machine sit by itself running. It could always be an accident, fire hazard, anything like that. And if for some reason something happens in your middle of a carve, something happens, you can always go up here at the top and hit pause or stop. Now that this detailed carving is done, which I'll show you a little bit better here in just 1 second once I move the machine, you just simply hit home and the machine will do its duty. And there we go. There's the cut. Well, there's still a lot to learn, and I'm learning, but mistakes happen. Just learn from them. I'm always willing to learn from other people. If you have suggestions, ideas, anything like that, just let me know. I appreciate it. Hope you enjoy. Alright, now here's a quick follow-up of that previous video. Here's the sign done. I've just taken it and sanded it down, getting it ready for the customer. Now normally I take these and the engraving will be filled in with paint of color, then stained, or however the customer wants it. This one right here, she wants it just like this. She wants to experiment with some resin. So I'm interested to see how that works. And thanks again.